Well, hello everybody. Welcome to a new series on my channel. This is Trick or Treat. It's a spooky Halloween visual novel I found. It was I forget if this one was free or like 50 cents, but I decided this will be a nice, spooky sort of video to put out for, to get everybody in the mood for Halloween. I have no idea about this game. I just saw that it was real cheap, and I decided, hey, I'd go for it. See what it's like. The sounds of our steps combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animals, the only thing we can hear. It's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Our flashlights are the only things that light up our way. At times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys bored with our lives, trying to create a lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home doing nothing. At least they're doing something with their lives. Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Three young men walk through a dark but up until now nothing special forest, me being one of them. We are doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. For a moment I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. That means we've been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. Jesus Christ. I'm sure that many people would find a place like this terrifying, but once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What is the point of being here? Clearly we have already demonstrated what we wanted. It would be best to return. I should tell them. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest becomes strange. Suddenly a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from one second to the other. So much so, my breath became visible, turning into mist. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell just a little short from being unbearable. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. What's happening? I asked, confused while turning to look at my friends. By the expression on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. Oh, spooky. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless, like statues, without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What's happening? As if I could know. We heard the steps again. They clearly belonged to a human, or at least to a large animal, but there was something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Damn, why is this happening? It makes no sense. We should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. But strangely, my friends seemed unable to perceive it. This is some oddly calming music for what's happening right now. It seems that it's gone. It must have just been an animal, said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief. However, bad luck would soon strike us again. Unexpectedly, the forest becomes darker than before in just the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights, which went out. Of the three, only mine was still working. What's going on? Did the batteries die? Asked one of them, scared, while they both beat them desperately, as if that was going to revive them. I can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. We continue walking despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we were walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it until it is too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of here. Suddenly, my thoughts are silenced. We hear the footsteps of someone, or something. Once more, the three of us become statues awaiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Damn, get away from here and leave us alone. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I can't stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlight everywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps, hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment the light revealed something. Quickly, I point to the same place, only to discover it was gone. I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. It was then that I hear something nearby. Without even thinking, I aim the light towards that place. I'm ready for something spooky to happen. What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on our faces. It is a white cat with eyes of intense red, which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Suddenly she lets out a thunderous meow that leaves us terrified. Just look at that. Just look at that. It sounded more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. I think we said it was a large animal, but it's a cat. It's a house cat. I don't know what this kid's thinking. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Oh. I fall to the ground, and little by little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. Oh, sleepy boy. Bad time for a nap? I lose consciousness on the ground of the forest without knowing what's going to happen to me. Oof, wow, that's an exciting chapter. It is a date like any other, so normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. There you go. That's a good Chinese translation I've heard so much about. October 31st. Far were the memories when I was a kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether as superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. I remember that my mother once painted my face and told me, "You will be the devil." It's a command. But it seems only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me since we always had a good time. If I asked for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality, we are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to a disco. Jesus Christ, was this the 80s? And I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. Everything perfect, except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. This is a sad story, dude. Hey Axel, let's have a couple matches, what do you say? No. My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. Rush Red, I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I would normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now. I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring. The AI is no rival for me, Steven said with confidence. That you're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge to Alfred. I said, leading the attention to my other friend. I don't know how to play that, answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He's sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he's in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. This kid's just reading Wikipedia while hanging out with his friends. He's a baller. He is one of those pseudo-intellectuals always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them, he added later. What are you talking about? This village is small and its story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened to it. Ooh, that's some foreshadowing. Alfred laughs mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place, Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. There is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then that I noticed it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Whew. Come on, read this and learn a little, Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Stephen and I moved closer to read it. Town of Abingdon, Oxfordshire Country, 1994. Oh, this is in Oxford, wow. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. The truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I have seen thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes, some difficult to solve, but all of them were human. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that they are people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a man, Matthew Graham, 23 years, single. The last time he had been seen, he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drank alcohol, but was still sober, or at least that's what witnesses said. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained by a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oakwood. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. We could easily find his traces, which were leading deep into the forest. Apparently, he walked for 3 hours before stopping. I say stop, but the truth is we don't know what happened then. The tracks suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest, and that's all. There was no evidence of struggle, no other trace, or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, anything else. The depth of his last footprints and the position they were indicated he was still walking. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all his clothes, in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing. But I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the footprints I sensed a faint smell of rot. However, there were no animal corpses nearby. I could just be a wet wood, you know. It's very, very possible. It is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and become earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything, but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was more to do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories. Like maybe everything was a plan developed by Matthew, but in the end they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more in the issue. I searched the town for similar stories, and to my surprise, I found 4 more. All young men. The story was always the same. They walked in the forest alone, disappearing without a trace. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same day, October 31st. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there is a killer or kidnapper behind this. And that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon disappeared in 1924. Michael Smith disappeared in 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And worst of all, Oswald Taylor disappeared in 1707. It simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be in the past of the forest. It was then when I discovered that what seemed to be a simple and boring forest actually had a great story. Before it was called Oakwood, or Oaks Forest, the place was called Witchwood. The word witch was huge similarity. The word witch has huge similarity with witch. Taking into consideration that it is an old name and language changes over time, that indicates that it was the Forest of Witches. Wow, I could have told you that. Apparently more than 400 years ago, the people of the village believed witches lived in the woods. Unfortunately, almost all the information is already lost. There were stories told with voice, without a properly written record. I just know that with the change of religion to Christian, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. Apparently the last one before her death cast a curse on the forest, which even today should continue to exist. Anyway, obviously I cannot accept something like that as the answer. In the end, I have no other choice than accepting that each of them has escaped from the village, using the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. Oh, spooky black. Interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said, honestly surprised. Even if it is a lie, it managed to hold my interest. Wait, there is something more, Alfred said at the same time he scrolls to the comments. We read what is written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At the time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. Well, the two comments share great similarities, but they could have been written by the same person. There are many others that deny it. Looks like many people went to the forest because of the legend, but couldn't find anything. I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the girls, replied Stephen as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Partly, yes. He admitted it. That was a secret everyone silently knew. Well, now we have an activity for tonight, Stephen said at the same time he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I asked, completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Simple. Let's go to that forest, Stephen replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Called Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only need to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you've heard, you want to go? Of course, it would be a test of courage among us three, replied Stephen, full of confidence. Perhaps too much. He should relax a bit. Don't tell me you're afraid. No, why would I be afraid? Answered Alfred. At the same time, he folds his arms, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. And what about you, Axel? Like, why is this kid's name Axel? Jesus. Don't tell me you won't come. Suddenly Stephen asked me at the same time, looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group. I hate the tone of voice he used. I will never give you that, I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, and some food. We are going to the forest, Stephen said, full of energy. Yeah! We three said in unison, as if we were going to some kind of private party, not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. Wow, that's probably a good place to end the first episode. Thanks for watching. I'll hope to actually finish this game instead of, what happened to Kushai no Kaijitsu. Wow, boys, welcome back to episode 2 of Trick or Treat. I'm gonna be real spooky. So I remember to actually hide the mouse cursor in this recording now, so you won't see that flying around the whole time. Should be a bit nicer experience for you, Paul. I wait completely confused, not knowing how much time had passed. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Then I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen, Alfred, can you hear me? Without thinking, I scream their names in the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there is no trace of them. They are gone. Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I really don't understand anything. Shit, we should have stayed at home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. I hope he finds them, man. Little time has passed since I started to look for my friends, and I already can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is a darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong rot smell, as if there were corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take, it makes you more uncomfortable. Since I started to look for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there is nothing. I sigh with my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. I continue walking devoid of any hope. No matter where I look or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems they are already dead and rotting. No, I have to calm myself, I said to myself. I sought for a moment to rest. I breathed deeply, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. Immediately, I start to cough as if I had something stuck in my throat. Shit. What am I going to do? This cursed forest seems endless. And even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Steven and Alfred. I really screwed up. Again I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. If I fall into despair, then there is no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decided to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good. Even if it was only to deceive myself feeling that I am doing something, I wanted to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard. Knowing that as soon as you stop you will be surrounded by dead silence is a good incentive to keep walking. But my legs are already hurting. Suddenly I hear a crack at my feet. It's a stick. Instantly I take a step back and look below to see what made that sound. What is this? I whispered to myself, surprised, discovering that I had stepped on an animal bone. Oh. I believe that's from an animal, although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a person. But for my own good, I prefer to not think about it. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It's best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. Without hesitation, I point towards there again. Do I wonder if it's the cat? Oh, look at it. Look at its neck. I'm circling it, but you can't see the mouse. That's awkward. Only to realize with the surprise that it is the white cat. The one from before which made the awful meow, but this time I find it lying on the ground. It appears to be fainted and is wounded. Then what should I do? I'm gonna pick up the cat. It is best to continue without waking her. Wait, what? Hold on, what? Can I go back? Ignore the cat, pick her up. Best continue without waking her. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. But even knowing that for some strange reason, I cannot help but feel sorry for her. Okay. Even if it is unnatural, it is still an animal. I then bend down to see her closer. Actually, hold on. I'm going to quick save here. Saved. Yeah, pick her up. She's unconscious, but there's a thin line of blood coming from her mouth. I'm a real idiot, I said to myself at the same time I cleaned the blood from her mouth with the handkerchief that I had on me. Fortunately, she doesn't wake up. I then closed her mouth, making her appearance a little better. Now she seemed to be peacefully sleeping. What a nice cat. I'm glad I saved the cat. After a long sigh, I decided to pick her up carefully. I don't know what... Oh, God. I don't know what the powers of the cat are, but if she brought me here, maybe she can return me to my world. With her in my arms, I decide that the best thing I can do is continue walking. I think he's convinced that, like, he's in another world, even though he just, like, probably just passed out of fear. You know, realistically, like, that would make more sense. Not like, hey, this cat transported me. It's like he saw something scared, passed out. God, this is just a marvelous storytelling. Again, I find myself in the dark forest walking aimlessly, only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. In my arms I carry the cat, which sleeps soundly. Come here, you'll be safe. I suddenly stopped. It was probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again, I whispered to myself, with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat... Oh, God, I'm tired. It's only 3:50. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It was a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale. But I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy, or is it this forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. I then feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her confused, just to see how she opens her red eyes suddenly. I become quiet at that instant. For a moment the two stayed motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but also there's something fascinating about them, something that attracts me. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized, till suddenly she jumps with the intention of scratching my face. My reflexes pushing her at the same time, I jump back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I managed to dodge her attack, but in the process I dropped my flashlight. I panicked and acted clumsily. The flashlight falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as it left my hands, I remember how dense this abnormal darkness is. I quickly pick it up, not even thinking before taking action. I then light the place where the cat was. Ah, man, I'm yawning so much. Only discovered she had arched her body angrily, as if she feared an attack from me. Those red eyes stare at me, shining with the light of the flashlight as if they were jewels, reflecting a fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. My body freezes after seeing them. I can't even think. The cat then lets out a thunderous meow similar to the one before, but weaker, although not any less frightening. There's no doubt there's something wrong with the animal. It must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be some kind of evil spirit, a pet of the witches. I feel how panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry, my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? Confront the dude. I'm gonna fight this cat. This cat will be mine. I ain't gonna back down. No, I should not despair. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. With that in mind, I take a deep breath and look again at her. Soon the expression in my eyes changes from fear to courage. I realize it is only a cat, without doubt a strange one, but my life is not actually in danger. That isn't a tiger staring at me, but a simple cat. Apparently, her only power are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have already done it. So I would rule out that possibility. Her work must be transporting the next victim to the area of the forest so unnatural and shady. After filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Let's make it slightly bigger, dude. Her meows get louder with every step, but I don't let them scare me. Seeing that I do not turn back, she shyly takes a step back. In my mind, I smiled at that image. The prey is now the hunter. Like, what are those eyes, dude? I look at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weaker, as if she was losing strength. Then I suddenly jump and take her in my hands. She hardly resists at all. Not so tough now, right? You look better like this. She's trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless I almost feel like a villain. But I must not forget all that she has done so far. It is her fault that I'm in this place. She brought me here, and if I kill her, would it be possible to go back? Whoa, hold on. For a moment, that grim idea crossed my mind. I'd never killed an animal. Truth is that I can't be proud of myself in doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe this legend could end here and now. Then, what should I do? I'm gonna keep the cat, dude. It's only logical the magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. If I kill her, everything would be over tonight and the legend would come to an end. Confident that it was for the best, I try to view it in my mind. Okay. It always seems like they're gonna do the opposite of what I pick. I always get tripped up. Like, I completely would not, put it past a game like this to have the choices mixed up, like the paths. But no matter how hard I face myself to see it, in the end I am unable to take the life of another living being. Even if it is a cursed cat serving a witch, I don't feel good killing her. I think I'm too nice for my own good, so the only thing that remains is to keep her with me, hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. With nothing more to think about, I decided the best thing to do is continue my path. Yeah, now we have a pet. I've only been walking for like half an hour in this new place. It's not too bad. It's been a few minutes since I captured the cat. Again, I find myself walking with her in my arms, led by the strange voice. How long have I been walking in the forest? Apparently, not enough to make me go mad, but it should be close. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. It seems that I am going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance, it seems a friendly voice. I'm completely focused on my way when I suddenly feel something bite me. I swear if it's the cat. Ah, what the heck? I shout in pain, realizing that the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't a dangerous bite, but it sure was painful. He looks upset. With my distraction, she takes a chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. Quickly, I set my gaze upon her furious, but soon something happens that makes me forget about my anger. Suddenly, the cat is covered with a bright light, so much that it repels the unnatural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Dude's falling in love with the cat. This is actually a furry novel, in case you didn't know. Under the light, its figure gradually changes, till it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. I should have known. The cat was actually a person. Oh my god. No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. I must really be going crazy. She has white hair and red eyes. She seems about my age, of course. In other circumstances, I would have asked her out without hesitation. Just thinking about it makes me laugh to myself in my mind. Even at the edge of madness, it seems some things about me will never change. She approaches slowly towards me, one step at a time, with no fear. The girl then stares into my eyes with a slightly irritated face. Her lips are moving. She seems to be saying something, but I am unable to hear a sound. Are you trying to tell me something? I babbled, still confused, with a face of disbelief which surely made me look stupid. Said the girl, with a very low voice. I do not understand what she is saying. What? I cannot hear you well. I asked, still confused. Suddenly the girl pouts in a bad mood. What's wrong with you? Are you deaf? Finally I could hear her clearly. I should probably do a voice her, actually. And just in time, because it seems her patience was about to end. Okay, now I heard you, I said, annoyed. All of my astonishment from just a few seconds ago disappears when I see the arrogant attitude of the girl. At least now I don't think she'll bite me. I hope. The girl then snorts with irritation. What an annoying guy I had to find, she said at the time she places a hand on her lips, making a pensive face. Wait, you shouldn't speak ill of someone you have right before you. I was quick to respond. For a moment I feel annoyed at the thought that I have to teach manners to this spirit or whatever she is. A pity, so much beauty wasted on someone so arrogant. The girl let out a snort of annoyance after hearing me. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit that I can't quit, she answered without sounding very repentant, clearly a false apology. After talking, she diverts her gaze towards the surroundings as if she was bored. I see, I replied, annoyed. I just met her and I already feel I don't like her. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I must not forget who this girl is. She was the cat that started it all. Anyway, at least could you tell me why you attacked me and my friends? They asked shortly after, acting more seriously. The greetings were over. It's time to get to the important stuff. They didn't even greet each other. Like, she just said she didn't like him. It's not a greeting in any way. And why did you bite me if I wasn't doing anything? Before I knew it, my lips were asking another question. I cannot lie. I was angry. He's pissed. He's so pissed at this girl. The girl then stares at my face. She blinks with curiosity before speaking. Does it hurt? The wound? She asked innocently. Yeah? I was quick to respond with annoyance. I didn't need to say more. Of course it hurts me, silly cat. She looks at me in silence for a few seconds until suddenly she approaches me without any shyness or fear. On second thought, how could a simple human such as me scare a cat that can turn into a person? Show me your wound, said the girl when she stood right next to me. Her presence makes me nervous. This girl seemed to not know what personal space is. I mean, she's also a cat. Like, you were kind of glossing over that fact, it seems. As embarrassing as it sounds, I had never had a girl this close. If only it wasn't in the forest. I don't know why I shouldn't trust her, but strangely something tells me that she has no bad intention. The girl is surrounded by a calm aura, something pure unlike anything else in the forest. In the end, resigning myself with a sigh, I show her my arm with the bite. Immediately the girl sets her sight on my wound. It will only take a moment, she said with complete confidence. Then she looks up into my eyes. Okay, just making sure I read that one right. Could you close your eyes? She asks as she blushes slightly. I'm surprised to see that embarrassed face she has, even if just a little. Then I sigh, feeling something wasn't right, but there was nothing else I can do. Okay, I said, doing as she asked. I didn't know what to expect. For a moment I thought she would get naked or something like that. But what kind of magic can work only when you have no clothes? I don't know, but my mind sure wanted to imagine that. Come on, Axel, keep your composure. Suddenly I feel something warm and wet touch my wound. Immediately I shudder. Wait, what are you doing? It's a stupid question, because I knew well what she was doing. She was licking my wound. You idiot, who said you could watch? Was quick to respond the cat. With her cheeks red in embarrassment, her lips still close to my wound, she looked adorably troubled. Don't you see I'm just trying to heal you? She then added in a bad mood. Sorry, I said, blushing. I thought you would do something more extraordinary. Now I'm not sure. Is she a girl who could transform into a cat, or a cat that can become a girl? Sorry to disappoint you not being Sorry to disappoint you not being extraordinary enough, murmured the girl at the same time she gives an annoyed look, red eyes shining with disgust. It is then I realize that the pain has disappeared. With curiosity, I look where the wound was, only to discover that there is no trace of it. For a couple of seconds, I stay silent. Incredulous. It seems that your treatment worked, I finally said, grateful, still looking at the spot. But of course, I have experience healing myself, answered the girl, closing her eyes and inflating her chest to show her pride. I actually appreciate what she did, but I still wonder if she really had to lick it to cure me. I understand, but who are you? The girl makes a small snort with curiosity after hearing my question. Then she tilts her head and closes her eyes, making a thoughtful face. It seems I have not presented myself. Yep. Oh god, I'm just yawning so much, dude. She opens her eyes and gazes into mine. My name is Ashley. So that's her name. I accepted something more extravagant. I'll be honest, I did too. My name is Axel. By the way, have you ever been accused of witchcraft? That's just, a common question. Before I knew it, I was asked that question. Or before I knew it, I asked that question. Okay, I was confused for a second. I guess it was rather rude from me, completely lacking in manners. I must not forget for even a second that I am in this cursed forest. Ashley suddenly becomes silent. At plain sight, it was obvious she didn't take it well. She takes her time before responding. Yes, but that was a long time ago. She then closes her eyes and exhales, emptying her lungs. She seemed to be recalling something painful. Just seeing her made me feel guilty. I'm sorry, it's not my intention to make you remember it, I said, slightly remorseful. No doubt to be accused of witchcraft must have been a horrible experience. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. It's okay. It's not like I can blame your curiosity seeing where we are. Then she looks at me closely with curious eyes. By the way, how do you know about me? Perhaps you are a sorcerer who has lived during these past centuries. She asked, narrowing her eyes as if she was trying to see the inside of my mind. What kind of question is that? No, nothing like that, I answered at the moment. I'm just an ordinary person. I admitted boring, but she didn't need to know. Oh, okay, but she didn't need to know that. It's just that there are stories about witches in this forest. But as you can see, the stories are not very convincing, or else I wouldn't be here. I explained, trying to remove any doubt that Ashley may have. Again, she closes her eyes and nods. I understand. She pauses and looks me in the eyes. It's because of the stupid mist that stupid humans come to this forest, just like you. She then said, looking at me with rejection. Wait, what are you trying to say? We're to blame? I replied, feeling offended. God, dude, he should be. Ashley suddenly looks at me disgusted. Are you an idiot? Yes, if you hadn't come to my existence, my existence would be nice and peaceful instead of this chaos that is every year. She said, ending with a sigh of frustration. But you're the one who causes all of this. I was quick to respond. I don't even bother to hide my anger. I can't believe what she says. How arrogant can she be? Ashley opens her eyes wide, surprised. Then she looks at me with annoyance in her red eyes. Do you not understand, stupid human? Definitely, I don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you. Her words take me by surprise. Huh? I exclaimed incredulously. You attack me and attack my friends only to protect us? Yes, she simply replied. At the same time, she nods, filled with pride and confidence. Okay, that's it. I'm getting out of here. Wow, that's probably a good time to end the episode number 2 of Trick or Treat. I can't wait to see how this relationship develops between the two of them. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Wayo! So, dudes, welcome back. This is episode 3. I'm probably just gonna end up putting all 3 of these episodes together for a long Halloween special, because I realized, like, I can't release this and get them all out by Halloween. So, yeah, that's, it is what it is. I'm not too upset. But, yeah, let's get right back into it. I cannot believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl is. After everything she did to me and my friends, I can't stand her any longer. Wait! I had only taken a few steps when I heard her calling me. She sounds really worried. You don't understand the real danger you're in here. I stop in my tracks as soon as I hear her. Real danger? I whispered, feeling some doubts. Suddenly I shiver. Doesn't look like she's lying.
Yes, I try to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. And as a last resort, I scare them directly, as it was in your case.
Ashley confessed, blushing a little as if she felt embarrassed of remembering. And why do you do that? I asked, confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley stares at me with her red eyes.
If they continue with their curiosity, they will meet an evil entity that will take their lives.
What you say doesn't sound very convincing. I immediately interrupted. The only evil entity here is you. Ashley shakes her head in denial.
You are wrong. I am the good one.
Then she said, looking into my eyes with a pure innocence in hers. Ha 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 ha. I could only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. After doing all that, you say you're good?
Don't laugh. I'm only trying to protect you.
Replied Ashley, furious while waving her arms. She then crosses her arms and gives me an unpleased look. You expect me to believe that? I replied sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but somehow she seemed oddly convinced it was the truth. She was surely a bit wrong in the head.
But it's true. You have to believe me.
This time she sounds really worried about me. I actually feel a little sorry for her. Ashley then stays silent, looking at me with puppy eyes. However, she soon recovers her proud attitude.
If you want, hold my hand. I won't harm you.
She suddenly says. Jesus Christ, dude. I look carefully at her. I swear, if he takes her up on this, I'm going to be upset. She has a very arrogant face, as if it was a great honor to be able to touch her. You won't do anything strange? I asked distressfully, but after seeing her again, I do not think she was lying. Ashley nods full of confidence.
I promise you.
I stare at her for a few moments, making sure she isn't... It isn't a trap, whoa. Okay, but why do you want me to hold your hand? I ask at the same time I extend my hand. What a baller, dude. Ashley opens her eyes, surprised after hearing my question, then stares at me with annoyance.
Are you stupid? Obviously to guide you out of the forest.
She just said as she takes my hand in one quick move. I then find myself being dragged by the strange girl. But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes. What? But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes. Okay. I said, looking back for a second. I felt really curious about who she was.
You ignore that voice. It charms men to make them her victims. Think of it as a siren.
Ashley explained in a bad mood, with her eyes always looking to the front. It seemed she didn't get along well with whoever that person or entity was. Wouldn't you be the one who collects souls of fools? I asked without thinking. I seriously need more experience when dealing with a girl. I swear to God, this is great. If only I were more popular. Ashley stops suddenly. She then turns at me, showing me a furious face.
You idiot, I already said I'm the good one.
For a moment I thought she was going to hit me on the head. But fortunately she stopped before doing so, or biting me again. Whoa. Okay. I meekly responded as if I were a scolded child. But if you eat me, I will make sure to give you the worst indigestion of your life. Dude, what a baller.
You idiot, I don't eat humans,
replied Ashley, ending with an arrogant snort. God, dude, this guy has such a way with words. Several minutes had passed since I started to walk hand in hand with Ashley. At the beginning, I did not trust her at all, but the more time passed, the easier it was to believe her. I hadn't noticed before how comfortable her hand is, soft and pleasant to the touch. I blushed just thinking about it. Even if she is a witch, she's a girl too, right? Then I sigh. Come on, Axel, composure. With every step, the curse of the forest seemed to weaken. The atmosphere was less oppressive every minute, until finally I was able to forget about that unpleasant feeling. Before I noticed, the darkness had returned to normal, feeling only empty. The rotten smell also had disappeared without a trace. Now I could really say I was in a common and ordinary forest, even boring. But I could not be more grateful for that. Just a little more to get out, so let's keep moving. Then I set my sight on the back of Ashley, watching her walk in silence. She was completely focused on that simple thing. If you're the witch from the legend, why are you helping me? I suddenly asked, not thinking twice before it. I was really intrigued by that. Ashley stops and turns, looking at me with an angry face.
Idiot, do you really think all witches are evil?
She was right. The general image of witches is not good, but it's not as if stereotypes were truthful. Oh, okay. Then she closed her eyes, making an annoyed face.
It's true that I had supernatural powers, but I never used them to do harm.
Ashley lowers her sight and pauses. Suddenly she looks sad.
My only sin was to be born in the time of the witch hunts. That's why I was condemned.
I don't know what about this game that makes me yawn, dude. It's just insane. That explains it well. I feel that I can trust she is good. But there is still one more question. And how do you end up becoming a cat? Ashley immediately blushes. She was so embarrassed that it was almost adorable. Almost.
Well, before my execution, there's a cat watching in the distance, so I decided to transfer my soul into it.
She explained, avoiding looking into my eyes. Monitor's turned off.
Of course, we now share the body we have like a deal. The cat will be happy as long as it has something to eat and a place to sleep. I try to provide her with all those needs, and in return she lets me stay in her body.
As she talks, she is blushing shyly. I see. I think it's a fair deal, I replied with a sincere smile. The truth is that I found it a little funny. It turns out that she's both a girl and a cat. That answers some questions. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she wants to, she can be very cute. Too bad that happens so rarely. Not saying more, Ashley continues walking to the exit. This time I stay in silence. All that remains for me is to escape from this place. I keep forgetting I have to click through those.
Well, here we are,
Ashley said just a few minutes after we talked. She isn't lying. I can see the end of the forest in the distance. I had to contain my desire to scream with joy at that moment.
There must be 2 other humans close here, your friends. Go with them and return home. I hope that nobody else comes tonight.
Ashley said, giving me a solemn farewell. But strangely, she does not let go of my hand. She looked deep into my eyes. Amazed, I noticed a gentleness that reflects on them.
Can you make me a promise?
She suddenly said with an honest voice. It was no joke. What is it? I asked, full of curiosity. I don't know what I could do for a witch, but after helping me to escape, I think she deserves me to hear her request.
End this legend,
she then murmured with an air of sadness. I can't understand why she asked for something like this.
I want you to help me to keep people away. The legend only attracts more people, as in your case. I need to kill it, replacing the supernatural danger with a human danger.
A human danger? So you want to scare them with ordinary dangers as thieves or ferocious animals? On second thought, there is a logic in what you asked. If you remove the element of magic and only leave the danger, then exploring the forest is not worth the risk. Ashley nods and then looks into my eyes, blushing.
Yes, exactly,
she said, pleased. Okay, I'll do it. You can rely on me, I responded with determination. I wanted her to know how serious I was that it was not a promise I would forget as soon as I got out of the forest.
Thank you.
This just, the punctuation of this is just like slightly off, that everything just feels weird. It's just so just bizarre almost. Then she closes her eyes momentarily and inflates her chest with pride.
You aren't as stupid as I thought.
I should have expected something like that. Hey, I told you not to talk ill of someone when they're in front of you. Wow, he's pissed, I complained angrily. This girl, simply will never change. After seeing my reaction, Ashley cannot help but laugh.
I'm sorry. Ha ha. Hee hee hee.
It's the first time I've seen her so happy. That made me blush. Ashley looked unexpectedly adorable at that moment. My heart was nervously beating as if I was with a normal girl. Suddenly she stares at me and gets so close her face is less than an inch from mine. Again, she demonstrates not knowing what personal space is. This time I don't know whether to be angry or thankful. Having her so close, a beautiful girl, makes me very nervous. This is the farewell, she suddenly said. She then brings her lips to my cheek and gives me a tender kiss. Ooh, dude, we got some H scenes in here. Oh boy. Everything becomes white at that moment. Everything loses its color. Everything is gone. Everything. Everything. God, this is exhilarating, dude. I'm outside of the forest. I have no idea of how I made it here, but this is no illusion. I am bewildered, as if I had been sleepwalking. Axel! Axel! Suddenly I hear someone calling my name, but it's not any strange voice. It's the voices of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here! I shout without a second of hesitation, with a bit of clumsiness because of my confusion. Soon they found me and impatiently run towards me. Where were you? The worry was killing us. Steven said with a face that I don't remember having ever seen before. Yeah, he's been gone for like 2 hours, lol. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. Within the forest, I couldn't find the exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that I interrupted him. Anyway, it doesn't matter, I was just lost. The important thing is that we're all safe. Yes, you are right. Hey, don't you feel that we're forgetting something? Alfred murmured at the same time he lowers his sights pensive. Suddenly a blurry image appears in my mind. It was white and bright, but I can't remember more. However, that weak memory awakes a strange feeling of nostalgia in me. It was as if I had lost something. But what could it be? Anyway, we should go home. This has gone too far for a test of courage, I said with no intention of spending one more minute in this forest. They both agree with me. With nothing else to say, we can only return home. By the way, guys, we should write on that page to not go to the forest. Forget about the witches. Somebody might get lost there, as it happened to me. It was a miracle I came out alive with that beast lurking around. Before knowing it, my lips move. Why did I say that? I have no idea, but something inside inspired me to do so. To be honest, I have no memory of the beast I speak of. All I can remember is that it has red eyes and white fur, but nothing more. Then I remember something. I think it was a promise I made to... Wait, to whom had I made that promise? I think about it for a moment in silence, but in the end I can't remember a thing. No matter, all I know is that I got out, and I'll never come back here again. Guys, at the end. Wow. Les Fiends. That was actually much shorter than I thought. Let's see, can we make it forward time? Yep. Text speed, yep. Let's just try to get the other ending. Or, I don't know how many other endings there are, but we will see. Stable transitions, back. Oh my god, dude, there's 6 endings. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's start going through. How do I turn on auto skip? What is this? Okay, this is the... Hold on. I think this is the first choice. We can ignore the cat. Lol. It is best to continue without waking her. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. I don't know what else the cat is capable of doing, so I decided it's better to leave it behind and continue walking. Actually, no, the kid was only gone for like half an hour. Actually, no, a little bit more, because yeah, when the cat was passed out after it screamed, I soon lost to sight of the cat. Once more, I find myself in the dark forest, walking aimlessly, only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. Come here, you'll be safer. I'll just give her the same voice, dude. I suddenly stopped. It's probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again, I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I got away from the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale. But I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy, or is it this forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. Every time the voice is heard more clearly, stronger, and more often. She seems to be leading me somewhere. It does not inspire me with confidence, but between the voice and staying here in this putrid forest that seems to have no end, I choose to follow it. Shortly after, I arrived to a clearing in the forest. At last I can see the night sky. Full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there is something strange in it. How weird, wasn't there half moon tonight? Oh my god, so spooky, dude. Said to myself, as I look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it is not important. The moon will not come to save me. That's a full moon right there. I lowered my sight. It was then I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. Dude, I guess we're gonna meet the spooky girl now. Oof. It was hidden under the shade of the trees nearby, so I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there.
Open the door. I'm waiting for you, my knight.
Suddenly I heard the voice again. It was in the cabin, no doubt. Somehow her voice sounds different this time. It has an inexplicable kindness, even love. I feel as if I were a man returning home to see his wife. After thinking about it for a moment, I can't help but laugh at myself. How silly. I must really be losing my mind. I said as a joke, hiding my anxiety with humor. In any case, there's nothing else for me than to open the door. However, I can't stop thinking that I'm forgetting something. My hand then slowly opens the door of the cabin. What awaits me there is something that leaves me perplexed. The bodies of the 5 missing people were hanging as if they were puppets. It's a bit more than perplexed, dude. It's 5 hanging bodies. With empty eyes, but all of them are facing me. And between them is a woman with a big smile. I opened my eyes wide with amazement, and my lips got dry. Finally, I remembered what I was forgetting when it was too late.
Thank you for saving me. By giving me your life,
said the voice with an indescribable love, but announcing my horrible destiny. It's true, Matthew disappeared in a clearing without any trace. I have no breath to speak. I just know that we can add something more to the list. The fiend. Dude, we got the spooky death ending. Okay, so we can, let's see. So if we pick up the cat, we can just scroll through. No, I have to calm myself. That's for a moment to rest. So have I got this before? Okay, no. Pick her up. Escape from the cat. Okay, we haven't done this yet. It's best for me to escape from this cursed cat. I made a mistake by bringing her with me. That cat only brings problems. I don't feel very sure about that voice, but perhaps it can guide me to the exit. It sounds kind, and I certainly don't want to stay with this animal. With that in my mind, I try to move forward, but the cat blocks my path. No matter how hard I try, she moves faster than me, showing me her claws and fangs furiously as if preparing to attack me. My instinct tells me that it would be better to not go one step further. I don't know what she can do, but that cat is dangerous. Suddenly, the cat begins to meow thunderously, almost making me deaf. My heart skips a beat with each of them, as if I were hearing a wild beast roar furiously. My breathing becomes agitated. Those meows are wrecking my nerves. I have no other way out. I don't care about the voice anymore. All I want to do is lose that cat from my sight. So not wasting a second more, I start to run in the opposite direction, begging she was not following me. I run through the... That's like the first sound effect, Jesus. I run through the forest, not looking back, forgetting about everything except my desire to get away from her. I have no idea where I'm going or how long it's been since I started to run, but I don't care. My lungs burn and my heart beat anxiously, begging me for a rest, but I cannot give myself that luxury. Stronger than the pleas of rest for my body are the pleas for my soul, crying, terrified, asking me to continue running until I can't anymore. Sometimes I hear the strange voice again sounding in my head, but whenever it happens, the echoes of the cat's meows are heard throughout the forest, freezing my blood again, and reminding me that I cannot stop. I feel sorry for that voice, but I can't answer your call. I'm so desperate that more than 3 times I've fallen flat to the ground, and many more times hurt with the branches of trees. But that pain doesn't stop me. I'll keep running until my legs can't go one single step further. I don't know how long I've been running, but for some minutes I haven't heard any of them, neither the voice nor the meows, much to my relief. Finally I stop, resting my hands on my knees and feeling on the verge of fainting. I breathe using my mouth, trying to fill my lungs with as much air as I can, while my legs hurt as if they've been hammered mercilessly. But this pain does not bother me, because I finally feel safe. Suddenly I look up only to find something that fills me with joy. I see the exit of the forest. I did it. I escaped this demonic forest. I didn't become another victim of the disappearances. Just thinking about it almost brings tears to my eyes. Axel! Axel! Suddenly I hear someone calling my name. But it isn't any strange voice. It's the voices of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here! I shout without hesitation, with a bit of difficulty because of my shortness of breath. Soon they found me and impatiently run towards me. Where were you? The road was killing us, Stephen said with a face I don't remember having seen before. Yeah, we've seen this, right? Yeah, before answering, I breathe deep. Inside the forest, I couldn't find the exit. That's strange. After that hit us, we both woke up out of the woods. We thought you'd be close, but we couldn't find you anywhere, explained Alfred, who also looks at me with great relief on his face. And you didn't try to find me in the forest? I said, feeling a little annoyed because they didn't go to save me as great friends. Oh, God. These yawns, dude. Instantly, both Stephen and Alfred shake their heads in denial. I didn't want to go back in, Alfred said, almost eating nails from imagining it. Me neither, after seeing that demonic cat. Oh, no. Also, we had hopes that you would be outside just as we were. I sigh after hearing them, but I soon forget my annoyance. Well, I can't really blame you. The most important thing is that we're all safe. Yes, but that was somewhat terrifying, confessed Stephen with a pale face. After that roar, I didn't know what was going to become of us. I was just about to tell them about all I had to go through, but just before saying a word, I changed my mind. They didn't need to know. The important thing is that we escaped and nobody got hurt. Well, I think we've had enough of this test of courage. We should better get back home, I said, looking horribly tired. Without hesitation, both of them responded with a nod. After that, everyone started to walk back home without looking back. Despite everything, I have to say that our main goal was fulfilled. We had a memorable night. The legend is true. Now I know it. Wow, another exciting ending. Because the thing is, I don't remember too many more choices. Like, with the cat. Hold on. Goddamn. I can just load. What was this? Okay, yeah. Click on that, load the cat. Yep. What should I do? Pick up the cat. Skip. We confront the cat and skip. Oh, kill her. Dude, kill the cat. Yes, this is what I have to do. It's only logical. The magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. I mustn't doubt. Just act fast so it hurts as least as possible. Everything ends tonight. Finally, people from this town will be able to live in peace without fearing that this cursed cat would make anyone else disappear. Killing a living creature is easy. The only thing I have to do is grab her neck and twist it. You twist it with all your strength until you hear a snap as if it were a branch. After that, she will not move anymore. You don't have to think, just act. In silence, I observe how my hands move to her neck to carry out my plans. I don't even want to imagine what my expression looks like at this moment. It must be terrifying. My concentration must be eerie for anyone who could see me, even repugnant. The cat does not resist. Fearful, she does nothing more than tremble. Ignorant of what would happen to her, but knowing that I have no good intentions. I'm ready to apply force. But suddenly she scratches my face with a quick and precise attack. Ah, god damn it! Immediately I let go of her while crying in agony, covering my face with both hands. I deserve that. Despite the pain, part of me cannot stop thinking I deserve that for trying to kill another living being. Evil or not, she only tried to defend her life. When the pain recedes, I look down only to find that the cat is on the ground, showing me her fangs and with an aggressive posture. Just like before I caught her. Oh man, it's getting nighttime. Oof. What followed was something that I would have never even imagined. Suddenly the cat starts emitting a bright light. Yes, more intense. Yeah, okay. It turns into a person. Hard to say if we've seen any of this. Let's see. Sorry you wanted to take your life, but I'll take yours instead. Oh. That is the best choice I can make tonight, she said ruefully. I hear no hatred in his voice. My life? Are you going to kill me? I asked, still confused by the shock. It has to be a joke. The cat's going to kill me? I must be dreaming. There's no other explanation for it. Suddenly, my hands, my feet, my fingers, my heart, they all feel an intense cold. In just an instant, all the warmth of my body was stolen. Shortly after, I fall down on the ground, weak, as if it were a puppet with its strings cut. My vision quickly becomes to cloud. My vision quickly begins to cloud, becoming dark. My death is real. The last thing I see before disappearing is the red in the eyes of the girl, shining with a feeling of repentance. That's another death ending. Let's see, load the cat. Up her up, skip. We're gonna wanna confront the cat, skip. Keep her captured, skip. Can't really think of any other choices we had here. Oh yeah, okay, let's load. Oh, no, not load. Let's save here. I trust in her, doubt. Despite what she says and how cute she is, I cannot trust in her words. This cat is the reason why I'm here, so I decide to ignore it and continue my journey. Also, I cannot know if the girl's voice is truly evil, as she says. It could be the other way. Without saying more, I start to walk in the opposite direction, passing beside her without even looking at her. That was very rude of me, but I must not forget who I'm dealing with. Wait! God.
Wait, where are you going?
Ashley said with a face of disbelief. I don't blame her.
Don't go that way, it's dangerous. Stop. I said stop.
Ashley begins to cry at me to stop, but my decision is already made. I don't even look back. Soon I can't hear her anymore. I know that she's still close, but it seems she has given up on me. For a moment, the doubt of why she did not use her magic enters my mind. But I guess I wouldn't understand no matter how much I thought about it. Oh, hell yeah, dude, I got an achievement. With each minute that passes, the air becomes more heavy and nauseating. I cover my nose and mouth with one hand. If I could, I would stop breathing this rotten air. But that doesn't stop me from moving forward. After all, this must be one of the dirty tricks used by Ashley to scare away others. After all of this, she calls herself good. I can't believe it. Now all my hopes lies with the voice. She must be the one who can save me.
Here, you are going well.
I don't know if it's been... more yawns, dude. What's happening? I don't know if it's only been... I don't know if it's been hours or only minutes since I became separated from Ashley. I've lost the notion of time when suddenly I came to a clearing in the forest. At last I can see the night sky. Full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange in it. How weird, wasn't there a half moon tonight? I don't know if this ending is going to be any different than dying. I think it might just be the same one, honestly. But I know I got the achievement for meeting her, so like... I don't know how they're going to try to spin this one. Look at the moon, try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important, the moon will... Okay, I can't skip through these then. I learned my sighters, then I noticed there's a cabin, hidden, yep. Apparently it's empty. How weird. Okay, I murmured to myself, confused. Definitely the voice came from this place, I'm sure of it. I rubbed my forehead with anxiety and then sigh. It's still very early to get impatient. I should explore the cabin. I slowly walk around the place, taking each step carefully. It is old and neglected, and there are cobwebs everywhere as if it hadn't been cleaned in years. The air inside is musty. Curiously, the cabin appears to have none of the modern commodities: telephone, electricity, water pipes. The impression I get is that it is even older than it appears, something that sounds impossible. I continued exploring until finally I find in one of the rooms what I wanted. Lying peacefully in bed, there is a girl sleeping, with blonde hair and clothes as black as the feathers of a raven. With just one look, I can say that she is very beautiful.
Brave knight, you have finally arrived,
she suddenly said, asleep. There is no mistake, she is the source of that voice. She is asleep but knows of my presence in some strange way. Yes, I'm here, I said, acting with faked courage, not knowing why. I guess I want to look strong for this girl, despite me being completely helpless. It is then that she opens her eyes slowly, even with laziness. They are very beautiful blue eyes. She looks at me closely for a couple of seconds, staring at my face with curiosity until, unexpectedly, a tear springs from her blue eyes, gently falling down her cheek.
Thank you for coming. I was very scared.
Suddenly she pounces me, giving me a tight hug full of affection, as if we had not seen each other in years.
I was very afraid. Everything is terrifying here,
she said while trembling, with her face pressed against my chest. She looks really scared. but who wouldn't? After all the evil cat has done, I wouldn't forgive her for frightening a girl as cute as her. Although it is partly thanks to that I could find her. In the end, there is good to see in the bad. Don't worry, miss, I will help you get out of here, m'lady. I said, trying to comfort her, with a false attitude of courage while placing my arms around her, returning the hug. She has an elegant and beautiful figure and a soft body, pleasant to the touch.
I can't, I don't have any more strength,
replied the girl, almost lamenting herself for that. She doesn't break the hug, and I couldn't be any more thankful for that. I could carry her on my back so that we can leave this forest, I offered as I caressed her head. Her golden hair is silky and exquisite to the touch. To be honest, I could not resist stroking it. Then the girl finally pulls away from me. She stays at the distance of just one step, staring at my eyes with shyness. With her hands on her chest, her cheeks have a cute blush.
I think you don't understand. I'm a spirit that lives in this forest,
she explained with a gentle voice.
Before I can materialize myself, since people came to visit me, and the joy they felt gave me energy. I spent many pleasant times with them.
Then the girl looks down. She seems to recall something sad.
Till one day when the evil cat began to scare everyone. Suddenly I began to feel weak, and well, now I'm like this because of her.
She blinks after saying that. She looks fragile, as if she were going to cry at any moment. I look into her blue eyes, feeling pity for her. Damn cat, how can you do such a thing to a cute girl? Then how could I help you if you cannot materialize? I ask with curiosity. The girl suddenly deviates her gaze, avoiding my eyes. She blushes and shyly plays with her fingers for a moment before looking me in the face.
I think that if you kissed me, I could regain some of my strength.
Oh, of course. I can't believe it. My heart almost stops when I hear it. Just a kiss would be enough? I asked, struggling to not sound like a pervert. Entering this forest was the worst decision of my life, but going after that voice turned out to be the best.
Yes, because your feelings will be transmitted to me.
The girl nods. At the same time, she closes her eyes and nods. The look on her eyes silently begs me to do it. Oof, that's, begs me to do it. That's some, dangerous grounds you're treading. Staring at me with an innocence that is simply adorable. After hearing her proposal, I start to think about my current situation. There's so many. I just want to finish this out tonight, dude. If she were an evil entity, perhaps she would ask me for more macabre things. As giving her blood to give her my soul, or make a donation on PayPal. Dude. The third being clearly the worst. But this poor soul just asked for a kiss. She has been alone all this time. If I kiss her, she will have enough strength to escape. No doubt it seems an obvious choice to kiss such a cute girl to save her, but everything sounds too sweet all suddenly, right? I don't remember my luck being this good. Soon I remembered what the cat said. Not wanting it, doubt appears in my mind. Should I kiss her? Boom, boom, boom. Well, let's go back and save real quick. Hell yeah, dude. Yes, I shouldn't doubt. A pure soul needs my help. Plus, winning the favor of a beautiful girl always is a good thing in my book. Interesting how they translate to, British English. That's I don't know, unexpected, I guess. Okay, I'll kiss you so that we can escape. Is that good? I said, acting with bravery, as if a knight of some tale.
Thank you. Definitely you're my knight in silver armor,
she said with a radiant smile. Don't say it so openly. You be making me blush. I replied at the same time. I scratched my head ashamed. My heart beats nervously just from imagining it. My lips will soon touch this adorable girl's lips. How lucky am I? God, he says this out loud, dude. The girl then lowers her sight with a shy face. Excuse me, but I always say what I think. I mean, he does, I guess. Like, they've done that in the other paths. She then returns her sight to my eyes, seeing me tenderly. Every time I'm more surprised of how adorable she is. Nothing like that annoying cat. I take a deep breath in preparation, showing resolve in my eyes. The girl nods and then closes her eyes, preparing her lips to receive mine. She is sweetly blushing, and I can't believe my fortune. This would be my first kiss, and it's only one worthy of a fairy tale. I near my lips to hers, They are soft but strangely cold, as if you were kissing an ice flower. But I don't care. The feeling inside of me is warm. Her lips move so gently, inviting me to continue with our kiss, a sweet touch, romantic like nothing else. However, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with the stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed a sword made of ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kiss and pull away from her. What did you do? I asked, looking incredulously at the girl. What was going on? I feel so cold, as if someone had stolen all the heat from my body. I also feel heavy and weak. I can barely stay standing. But there is no response. Before she could talk, suddenly something attacks us with such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what it was. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. I immediately looked for the culprit, finding it was not the girl in black, but someone else.
Curses, too late,
Ashley said, biting her lower lip in anguish.
You really are an idiot. Do you know what you've done?
She then said, looking at me with burning anger. This time she's not playing. She was really angry with me. Oh.
What?
Suddenly said the girl in black with a malicious smile. I mean, they're both wearing black, so you know, whatever.
Is it that you can't stand knowing I'm now stronger than you?
She throws a smug look at Ashley. I'm gonna have to do a different voice now.
Or maybe you were just jealous that men prefer me over you. But of course, considering how annoying you are.
Ashley bites her lips with anxiety.
Curses, I didn't think I would have to use this. But if I do nothing, everything will be lost.
After saying that, she sets her eyes on me.
I'm sorry for what I'm going to do, but since you didn't listen to me, I have no other choice.
Suddenly, Ashley approaches me as fast as a blink of an eye. I try to move me, but I don't have the strength to do it. I can only stay standing, motionless, watching as she suddenly plants a kiss on my lips. God, I didn't see that one coming. Oh.
Don't worry, you won't feel pain,
Ashley said when her lips parted. I do not understand what it means, but soon something happens to me. I feel how the little energy left in me goes extinct. The sudden color of my skin becomes pale. My breathing suddenly stops. I feel very tired, and I barely can see past my nose.
With this, we are on equal terms. I hope this is enough energy,
Ashley said while looking with resolve in her red eyes at the girl in black, who at all times maintains a proud smile. That was the last thing I saw before my eyelids closed, being wrapped by an icy darkness. It's okay, I'm just falling asleep. This is the other ending, dude. Soon I'll wake up in my bed and have another boring and ordinary day. It's okay. It's fine. Okay, hold on. How many more endings? 2 or 3? 2 left? 3 left? 2 left. Okay. This will be easy. We can load up this. We just say, nope. Despite how adorable this girl is, there's something about her explanation that doesn't sound right at all. Everything seems too convenient to be true. It is impossible for luck to so suddenly have improved. While I think about it, she unexpectedly gets closer to me, and then looks at me with puppy eyes so adorable they could charm anyone. Aren't you going to do it? She asked with innocence. I do not know what to do in this situation. Wait, before we do that, we haven't even properly introduced ourselves. I said, clearly nervous. I can feel my heart beating anxiously as the girl stares at me. She blinks, confused, and then smiles sweet.
My name's Lillian.
She doesn't look angry in the least. This girl definitely has something special. My name's Axel. I said, my name Axel. I said in a robotic voice. However, it doesn't seem to bother her. I show her a nervous smile. I have to say something else to stop her, but nothing comes to my mind. Without any shyness, Lillian gets closer to me. She has no problem in taking the initiative. Her eyes suddenly become naughty, something in them makes my blood warm. Oof.
It's a pleasure, Axel. I very much appreciate your help.
She brings her lips closer to mine and then places her arms around my neck to prevent my escape. That gesture alone freezes me in place. I watch her slowly approach me, closer and closer. Dude, the other girl's gonna just zoom on in until I feel her soft lips against mine. Okay. At that moment, I felt as if I had been possessed. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately, as if we were lovers seeing each other after a long time. I close my eyes. I don't need to see. I only need to feel the warm love and taste of her lips. If this ends any differently than last time, I'm gonna be upset. However, the sweetness, yeah, get stabbed, yeah, yeah. Let's see. We can't skip this. Yep, wow, it's the girl. Wow. Wait, hold on, what? How does...
You really are an idiot. What are you doing?
Suddenly she takes my hand with superhuman strength. It was vastly superior to what her thin appearance would suggest. She dragged me away from the cabin as if kidnapping me. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Again, I don't know why this one turned out differently. This is already a 42-minute recording. It's insane, dude. I mean, this can't be much longer. In just a few minutes, we got very far away from the cabin. How quickly Ashley can run impresses me. She is definitely not human. She finally lets me free. My hand was red and hurt from how strong her grip was. But fortunately, I feel better from the kiss. My body had recovered its heat and energy. Why the heck did you do that? I immediately asked with anger. Who does this cat thinks... Who does this cat thinks she is to do something like this?
I should be the one asking that,
Ashley replied, looking me in the eyes with contempt.
Because of you, she has already recovered most of her powers.
She then explained, ending with a face of rejection, diverting her look from my eyes. She was overreacting, maybe. What are you talking about? She only wants to be free from you, I said with annoyance. I simply couldn't believe her. This guy just believes literally everything. And then he just goes from like, oh, no way, dude, to, oh, no, that's the truth. Neither of the two girls in this forest seemed trustworthy. That is misfortune, considering how beautiful they are.
You really are an idiot,
Ashley said, looking at me with her red eyes full of contempt.
Yes, she wants to be free to fulfill her revenge. Can't you understand that?
The only one I don't understand here is you. My patience had ended long ago. I'm not in the mood for scolding.
Stupid human, it's so easy. It's to be so stupid human to be so easily seduced by her. All men are equal. None can think with the right head. Ashley folded her arms and exclaimed with annoyance while looking at me as if I were a spoiled child. Because of your reckless actions, we are in serious trouble.
Ashley sighs, frustrated.
If only you would believe me, this wouldn't be happening.
What are you talking about? She must be freed since she is suffering, I said without hesitation. I cannot forget the sweet words of that girl, Lillian. Suddenly Ashley gives me a piercing look, sharp as a knife.
Why do you believe her story? She's deceiving you, idiot. You baka!
That's what she wants you to believe. And how do you know that? I asked, being suspicious. I do not like this girl. She really is too bossy and nagging.
You baka! Didn't you notice when she was absorbing your vital energy?
Ashley said, tearing down in a second all my doubt and resistance with a look of anger in her red eyes.
Yes, that's what she was doing, absorbing you just like she did in the past with those 5 unfortunate men.
She explained while staring at me.
The last victim was 20 years ago. Since that day, I promised that nobody else would get close to her.
Hearing that called my attention immediately. And why did you do that? Oh boy, dude. Insane. Ashley looked distraught after speaking of the death of that man. I wonder if she felt guilty for that.
If she gets her hands on one more victim, she will fully recover her powers. And once she achieves it, she will begin her revenge for what your ancestors did to her. Worst of all is that with the energy you have given her, she is now able to leave this forest in search for her last victim.
Is that the truth? I asked incredulously. They use that word so often. They just love the word incredulously. Insane, dude. I like how their grammar not there, spelling not there, but incredulously. Ooh, that word's there. I didn't like the sound of it. If it's true, we could be in big trouble. We could be in big trouble. Not only me, but everyone. Ashley bites her lips with anxiety.
Yes, what's worse is I have no energy to deal with her.
After saying that, she looks at me in anger.
Since a certain group of idiots decided to come here for God knows what.
I can't respond to that. I only feel guilty.
I could get rid of your friends, but for some reason I couldn't with you. You have a stronger magical power than normal.
Ashley explains, ending with a sigh of frustration. What'd you do with my friends? I asked firmly without even hesitating. Oh god, this is just so long, dude. I mean, it shouldn't be, but I mean, we're getting there. Thinking that they could be wounded gave me force, but perhaps I was just overreacting.
Don't worry, they are safe. I only made them leave from the forest.
Ashley replied, folding her arms. Then she sighs.
By creating the illusions and getting them out left me very weakened.
Is that why you were lying on the ground when I found? You found. As if recalling that moment, she was wounded and unconscious. I couldn't help but feel sorry for her at that time.
Yes, but it didn't help that I had a fight with the innocent princess you saw before.
She looks back at me unpleased, but this time just for a moment. After saying that, we both remain quiet, allowing silence to surround us. It's been a while since I last heard the voice calling me. I think that I ceased being useful to Lillian, as Ashley said. Suddenly, Ashley snaps her fingers.
Wait, there's still a chance,
she said, full of energy. There was a glimmer of hope in her eyes. And then she sets her sight on me.
Hear me well, this is the only way to defeat her.
Ashley speaks with her usual arrogance, but I notice a slight blush in her cheeks. What is it? I asked, curious to hear the idea. Oh, dude, she's gonna have to suck his energy, dude.
Do you remember what she asked you to do to help her regain power?
Ashley said, blushing more. She then coughed a few times to clear her throat. Yes, she told me to kiss her. I replied without even thinking about it. But shortly after, I realized what I'm saying. Wait, you want me to kiss you too? I asked in uncertainty. I don't know if I should feel lucky or used, to be honest.
You backa! It's not that I want a kiss from you.
Ashley roared. Then she diverts her sight from my eyes, making a snort of rejection.
It's that it's the only way to achieve this. Besides, what you did was not kissing you, it was stealing your life energy.
What you did was stealing my vital energy with a kiss, how ironic. I said sarcastically. The memory was still fresh on my lips. If not for the small detail of the theft of vital energy, it would have been a great kiss. Ashley at that time seems to shiver. She then looks at me furious.
It seems that your brain does not understand the complexity of this issue. I do not plan to steal your life energy. My intention is to get energy from your feelings of love.
After saying that, she looks away embarrassed. Did I hear right? Something here sounds completely wrong. Wait, what are you trying to say? Ashley coughs twice to clear her throat.
If your feelings for me are full of love, that I can regain my energy,
she said, unable to look me in the eyes. Her face is red as... Ah, God, this has to be a joke. But that's impossible. How can I feel love for someone I just met? Dude. Like, what about the other girl, dude? You fell in love with her instantly, dude. I wouldn't say it to anyone. Please help me. Insignificant. She said with a forced arrogance. At the same time, she looks at me, saying with her eyes that I should be thankful. The way in which she asks is not very correct, honestly, but she did her best effort to do so. That can be seen in plain sight. However, should I trust her word? She's been causing me many problems tonight. I was even chased, attacked, and kidnapped by her. Then should I? Was this okay, that's the final choice. So these are the last two endings. And should I? Let's try to get the ending where this is probably the other. It's probably the true ending, I guess. I don't know which one's the true ending. I can't trust her. I'm sorry, I can't believe in what you say, I said suddenly with a voice more serious than before. It's no joke. I feel bad for saying it, but it's how I really feel. You attacked me and my friends. Why should I help you? The face Ashley makes says it all. She simply cannot believe it.
But...
she murmured with disbelief, reflecting on her red eyes. She seemed hurt, but there is no turning back. I'm sorry, but this is my decision, I said, putting an end to this conversation. Goodbye, I then added, starting to walk back to the cabin.
Okay, just go back to her.
Ashley suddenly says, furious. Truth is, I can't blame her.
I hope you don't regret it later.
Not saying more, I distance myself from her one step at a time. Before losing sight of her, I take a look back. She's on her knees, facing towards the ground. I feel sorry for her, but I've already made my decision. I wonder how Lillian is doing. I hope she is well, since we were attacked by Ashley for no reason. No doubt I felt something when I kissed her, but perhaps there was something more behind it than what I heard from Ashley. I should go talk to her. Finally, I'm here. Again, the image of the old cabin stands in front of my eyes. I sigh, doubting for a second, but I have to be strong. Arming myself with courage, I go towards the cabin and prepare to knock on the door. But just at that moment, something or someone stops me.
Axel!
Before I knew it, Lillian opens the door and gives me a warm hug, excited to see me back. It seems that she heard my footsteps as I approached. Or perhaps she has some power of observation. Either way, it doesn't seem she's here and seems... Either way, it doesn't matter. She's here and seems happy to see me. Fumble over my words more.
Brave Knight, you are back safe and sound,
Lillian said while looking me in the eyes with tenderness, then giving me a sweet smile. Seems impossible she could do something as evil as Ashley said. Yes, it seems so, I murmured without much emotion. I was more than confused. No matter what I do, something always seems to be wrong.
Don't worry about me. I'm much better now thanks to you. Thanks to the help you gave me.
Lillian ends with a sweet smile.
However, now I should reward you for coming back to my side.
Oh. Oh. The last thing she says calls my attention instantly. Oh. Reward me? I repeated inquisitively. What kind of reward could you be talking about?
Of course, since you managed to escape from the claws of that horrible Ashley, and you've shown loyalty to me. That is why you will have your reward.
After saying that, Lillian's eyes turn naughty. Oh. She looks into my eyes with a playful smile. Oh. Suddenly she approaches, her face close to mine. I can smell her feminine scent, but there wasn't any sense. Before there wasn't any sense she had yet to truly materialize.
Close your eyes and you will receive your reward.
Lillian says those words very gently. Suddenly there's something charming in her voice. I cannot resist her. Before I knew it, I'd closed my eyes as she asked me, I wonder if I'm going to get stabbed again. I'm probably going to get stabbed again, honestly. At that moment, her lips and mine come together again, only this time is much more intense. I can feel her heat and softness in more detail. Our kiss is much more passionate than the one before. Without any shame, we kissed, overflowing with lust and desire. Suddenly, I feel my strength leave my body. She holds me tight so I don't fall down as if I were a toy. Wow. After kissing her from the bottom of my heart, I am left without any energy. My skin is pale and my body feels cold, heavy as if made of lead.
Don't worry, I won't take your life,
Lillian said, full of pride.
Besides, I have more than enough energy to accomplish my vengeance.
Suddenly she smiles. It is a malicious smile that I never would have wanted to see. Wait, did she say revenge? My mind barely works now. Everything looks fuzzy. Everything is so confusing. I don't even seem to mind hearing that. Or imagine how cruel it could be. Definitely there's something broken in me.
You've shown loyalty to me, and you will be my partner in this eternity. That kiss was our contract.
I think contracts have to have two willing parties, if I remember.
You shall be my servant and will obey me and please me in everything that I need.
After saying that, Lillian suddenly begins to laugh, an eerie laughter filled with joy. Yes, milady. Was all I could say without showing any rejection, without any resistance. My body and my mind had ceased to be under my control.
It's my first slave. How pleasing. I never thought I would find humans so stupid, but at the same time, as noble as you. I think I was lucky.
Lillian's look at that time reflects a seductive malice. They are cruel blue eyes. They are cruel blue eyes that love to be like that. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
But there's a problem. A slave without power is not useful.
She pauses and snaps her fingers.
I know. I will share some of my power with you. Count yourself lucky.
She just couldn't have sucked it all out, dude. She's just giving it right back. After saying that, she laughs playfully, then she sets her gaze on me. I suddenly feel that my strength is returning to normal. She lets go of me, and I have no problem standing on my own. But soon I realized that I was wrong. I feel even stronger than before.
Great, now one more thing left to do.
Lillian said as she looks at me with a mischievous smile. Surely she wasn't thinking anything good. But before she could say more, something interrupts her. Ashley appeared in front of the two. Bon bon.
Thankfully you still live. Come with me. We can still beat her.
Ashley shouted, sounding almost desperate. I hear it, but even if I want it, my body does not respond. I'm completely still, as if I were a statue.
You backa! What are you waiting for? Flee!
Ashley said, seeing my reaction, sounding even more desperate.
Here the idiot is you, don't you realize? It's not necessary to kill him to carry out my plan.
Lillian responded, overflowing with pride and confidence.
The look in her eyes says it all. She already had the victory in her hands. Ashley freezes for a second from the impression. She was stunned.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
She asked full of disbelief that was visible in plain sight. Lillian smiles.
Simple. He gave me all his energy, and as a reward, I allowed him to be my slave.
You lie! Lie! Ashley does not take the news well. She screams furiously while looking with hatred at Lillian. The enmity of the two must be something deeper than what I imagined.
No, it is the truth,
was the simple answer of Lillian, displaying a confident smile that was almost insulting to see. Ashley bites her lower lip with anguish. Her eyes at that time become sharp.
I didn't expect to use this method, but there is no other option.
Suddenly, Ashley's nails grow long and sharp as knives. She points to her own jugular.
Stop her,
ordered Lillian without hesitation. At that moment, I felt my body disintegrate, and before I knew it, I was right next to Ashley. In less than a blink, I had changed positions. By pure instinct, I grab her arms and stop Ashley.
No, let go of me, you giant baka! I have to do this or you don't know what will happen.
She tries to escape, but now I have more strength, superhuman strength.
I will not allow you to do that,
Lillian said, ending with a short laugh. And she smiles full of confidence, partially hiding her lips behind one hand with elegance.
Let me go, let me go, let...
Ashley repeats the same thing over and over, but little by little she becomes quieter, accepting her defeat. She then lowers her head in silence. It appeared something was stealing her power. It's my fault that something is no other than me.
You will be my main guest, Ashley, of how I carry out my revenge. You don't have to worry about these stupid, idiot humans. Besides, deep down you wanted it too.
Ashley silently accepts her fate. It breaks my heart to see her like this, but no matter how hard I try, my body doesn't listen to me, not even a single muscle.
Tonight I will fulfill the reason of my existence.
Ha ha ha! Ah!
How beautiful, after so long waiting for this day, finally they will know my revenge. Finally! Oh!
Lillian looks very different from when I first saw her. She now can't stop laughing with euphoria. Every single one of her laughs leaves a scar in my heart. Now I understand my mistake, now that it is too late. My body has become her slave. I'm just a puppet now, waiting for my lady to pull my strings. That night I was witness to the most heinous acts someone could commit. Murders, torture, screams, blood, tears. I saw all of this more than once each. Families, friends, and neighbors were murdered, and I couldn't do anything about it. No, that isn't right. My own hands were the ones who took their lives. I still remembered their faces in agony, silently begging me to stop. But no matter how much I wanted to, my will is controlled by someone else. I'm just a puppet now, waiting for my mistress to pull my strings. An eternal life, filled with misery, is all that awaits me now. In my despair, I managed to break the control of Lillian, but just for long enough to make a single move. Surrounded by death and fire, I shout a loud and heartbreaking scream into the sky. My voice echoes all over, carrying a message of pain for which there are no words. At the end.
My revenge in this town is fulfilled. However, this is not the end. This is just the beginning.
Do trick or treat too, dude. Lillian pauses. She beholds the destruction of the town with satisfaction, and then turns to look at me with a smile.
We are leaving.
Yes, my princess.
You are so cute.
Seeing her smile makes my heart pound. Although I'm just a puppet now, I still keep a fragment of my conscience. But it's already corrupted. Her revenge and smile inspire love instead of hatred. Because my life and world are only Lillian now.
We will be together for all eternity.
Of course, I will always protect you, help you, and love you for all eternity. I will do everything so that my lady, princess, can be happy.
I could not expect any less from you, my loyal servant. You are truly my knight in silver armor.
Is that the end? The end, dude? Oh. Not yet, dude. We got an epilogue. It's been over a week since the discovery of the total slaughter in the small town. Police still have no clues about what happened here. The evidence is scattered everywhere, exclaimed the chief of police, William Lim. Where they kept the Chinese then. It's as if we were trying to find a needle in a haystack. In explanation provided, everyone suddenly decided to kill their neighbors and commit suicide later. But sadly, there isn't one. You know, that's like... You know, you find a town where everyone's dead, you think, hey, someone murdered. But not like mass murder suicide. But sadly, there isn't one. In this case, the needle does not exist. So far, everything seems to point that it was a pagan ritual. This town years ago was related to witches and other supernatural legends. But there is no doubt these deaths were the result of nothing but human actions. Anyway, we will continue with the investigations. The chief sounded confused, but in reality, all the country is. Literally in a single night, all the inhabitants of Abingdon died. Literally in a single night, by the hand of their own neighbors. They were not just murders, many were tortured too. According to the investigations, more than 1,000 people were burned alive in this incident. Lillian ending, one more. That's the credits. Can't skip through this. There better only be like 3 people. Shout out to Logan insane. They're saying there's so many. Shout out, that was the best proofreader I've seen. And of course, he was Grumpy, dude. Yep. Thanks for playing. Well, you're welcome. We're not done yet. We still gotta get the good ending. Oh, hell yeah, dude. So, extras. So we only have the final ending. So that's the good ending. Yep. Load. This was the last one, right? Then should I? Yeah, believe in Alpha. I can't ignore her petition. I know that she has not been the kindest girl, but somehow I think she's telling the truth. Okay, I'm going to help you. But tell me, what should I do? I ask at the same time. I look at her, red eyes with determination. Ashley nods a couple of times. She seemed pleased with my answer. It's simple. Just share your feelings of love towards me. She then responds with more confidence. I can't help but sigh after hearing it. Something here is wrong. I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. Well, we just met each other. I do feel some empathy for you, but it wouldn't be right to call it love. I explained with frustration in my face. She asked too much from me. Ashley then places a hand against her lips, making a pensive gesture. I see is a feeling that cannot be achieved in a single day. Of course not, silly cat. Have you never been in love? Well, there is one alternative, but I don't want to use it because it would do you harm. I blinked, confused after hearing her. What's the alternative? I asked while staring at her face. To suck your vitality as Lillian did. Ashley explains with a very serious look. She then diverts her gaze, feeling disgust at the simple idea. But I'm not going to do it. If I remove the vital energy you have left, you will die. Certainly, I do not want that. Then if you don't have enough energy to fight, what will you do? This is not looking good. If you don't have those feelings for me, there's not much that can be done, replied Ashley, ending with a sigh of annoyance. Anyway, I will go and face you, even if I have to give my life in the fight. She says it with so much simplicity that it seems she doesn't care for her own life. Wait, is there really nothing I could do to help you? I interrupted immediately. I mean, there's one thing, dude. I could not just let her go like that. At least I had to do something, however small that may be. How could you help me? The look Ashley gave called me an idiot without saying a word. While we're on the same team, I think that some things simply will never change. I stay silent for a moment, looking down while I think on a solution. Ashley stares at me impatient. I don't feel love towards you, but once I felt it for someone else. I could try to remember those feelings so that you can use them as energy. Ashley thinks deeply for a moment. I guess it's worth a try, she said, not sounding very convinced, but it was certainly better than nothing. After that, the two of us stare at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds without saying a word. Then we suddenly divert our looks at the same time, embarrassed. We were acting like kids. Are you ready? Ashley says, looking almost lovingly. It's easy to notice that she was taking this seriously. I nod. Yes, whenever you want, we can start. I replied just before closing my eyes and trying with all my heart to arrive to that image. Suddenly, Ashley holds my hands. Even with my eyes closed, I can feel her presence near. That makes me somewhat nervous, but I have to relax. I exhale, letting my concerns go out with my breath. Her hands softly caress mine to help me relax. Then I start to remember something that happened many years in the past. When I was young, every summer I went to my grandparents' house to visit them. I didn't like it because they had nothing fun there. Only an old TV and dusty books that I had no interest in reading. However, whenever I went there, I could see her. A girl with brown long hair who always had a cute dress. When I saw her for the first time, I could feel a strange fascination for her fragile and inexplicable beauty. I watched her at a distance without knowing what this feeling was. I only knew that something in her called me. It was more than just beautiful. Her beauty was something with many layers, with many facets. Just like an ogre and onions, dude. Her gestures, her expressions, her way of playing, they were all beautiful. I mean, they're not going to show this girl, dude. Oh my god. Finally, one day, I had the courage to ask her to play together. Without even thinking about it, she told me yes. All that afternoon we spent playing until it inevitably began to get dark. She was a simple girl, enjoyed parties as anyone else. Enjoyed playing as anyone else, but still I could not remove my eyes from her. When the day ended, she said goodbye to me with a radiant smile. I had forgotten it, how beautiful it was, how astonished I was after seeing it. After that day, I never got to see her again. Last thing I knew, her family moved to another country. I do not know if that was a predestined love or just my inexperienced feelings confused with something new. But without a doubt, it was beautiful. I do not want to forget it, never again. Then, unexpectedly, I feel Ashley giving me a shy kiss on the lips. I wonder if that Steam notification is going to pop up. Let's respond to this kid real fast. That's enough of that. But at the same time, that shyness gives it a special beauty. It was a sweet kiss. There are no words to describe it. I opened my eyes, finding Ashley one step away from me, completely blushing and looking away from me. She is silent, but does not look angry in the least. Her red eyes are gentle, although embarrassed. Are you alright? I ask with kindness while I look at her. My heart is calmed quickly after the kiss. I don't show it, but somehow I feel liberated, lighter. Ashley turns her head to look me in the eyes.
Yes, thank you,
she said with shyness. However, she then breathes deep and magically recovers her proud attitude. I believe that this will be enough to stop her. The plan was a success. I'm really pleased. That's fantastic to hear. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she is not scolding, I must confess that she is very cute.
Anyway, we can't wait any longer. Every second we talk, Lily must be using it to plan her revenge. We have to go now and stop her.
Ashley explains, acting with complete seriousness. Our little break has ended. Yes, let's go, was my short response, overflowing with determination. There's no more to say. You rip his friends are just chilling outside the woods all this time. Dude, I can't wait for the final fight. It's gonna be intense, dude. The way back to the cabin feels short this time. Before I knew it, it was in front of my eyes. Lily is outside next to the door. She was waiting for us.
Brave knight, I see you finally came.
God, I can't get that up high in my throat anymore, Jesus. She said with a confident smile. Her attitude is very different from the last time I saw her. Just from looking at her, I'm sure of it. She is not any innocent soul.
It's a shame to see you with that woman. I had hopes for you.
Axel
won't be fooled by you again.
Ashley replied, talking in my place. At that moment, I see Lily making a grimace of disgust, but soon she recovers her look of confidence.
I wanted Axel to be my companion since he kindly came to rescue me. But oh well, it's not important. I already got enough energy from him. With that alone, I have surpassed you. Finally, I will be able to get my revenge on you, Ashley,
said Lily, pronouncing her name with a mocking tone while giving us a malicious smile. Her victory was in the palm of her hand. Ashley instantly roars furious.
We won't know until you try it.
After saying that, she crosses her arms with pride.
Once I beat you, nothing shall stop me from completing my revenge. Why do you want to do that? It's been far too long. The people who hurt you are already gone, and not even the memory of the crime committed here exists anymore. It's just a village of innocent people.
God, dude, she looks pissed.
You're right, but someone has to suffer,
responded Lillian without hesitation, not doubting a single moment, leaving me completely cold. After seeing my reaction to her answer, she directed an evil smile right at me, as if her words meant nothing. That makes me angry. And what do you win by doing that? I yelled at the same time I closed my hands into a fist. I simply couldn't accept it. It was too much.
I just want them to suffer like I did. If I don't make them suffer, then who will?
You already said that.
It will be the carrier of this hate that every day eats at me from inside like parasites would sicken me and deform me.
Dude, we're gonna get a diplomatic ending, dude. Lillian pauses.
It's unfair that I continue to suffer while they are innocent.
Lillian then speaks out the same time she hits her chest, showing how much that meant for her.
This is more than pain. It is proof of my existence.
She pauses and exhales, calming herself.
Anyway, enough with speeches. I will end you and then bring my revenge to the townspeople.
Then, without saying any more, the battle begins. God, this music. This is not battle music, dude. This is like a pub. Not even a pub. This is just a nice, you know. I can't be complaining too much. Then, without saying anything more, the battle between the two began. It was something that my mind could not comprehend. A show of power and magic that deformed reality itself. Ashley repeatedly attacks by firing a strange translucent power as if hot air. Just from seeing it, I know that it has enough strength to knock down a house, but Lillian doesn't even blink. These sound effects, dude. She calmly moves a hand, creating a barrier that reflects her attacks each time. Interestingly, it was Ashley who was most active. She attacked incessantly from many different angles, while Lillian stays still, reflecting her attacks and fighting back, always with a smile on her face. After seeing those attacks will not have effect, Ashley changes strategy. Like, these are just worded so strange. She transformed herself into an imaginary white beast and charges at Lillian. Oh, okay. However, Lillian transforms her body just like her into an unknown dark being and resists her attack. Ashley regains human form, making a grimace of disgust. Both had wounds after this confrontation. But then before my eyes, I see how they place her. Oh my. Place her hands on the wounds and heal them magically. Apparently the two have the same powers. The only thing different was their personalities. There were simply no words to describe them. At least my mind was not able to find them. I only know that during the fight, neither of the two seemed to have an advantage over the other. I mean, it said... Hold on. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he says Ashley was, most active. Okay, that's... Everything indicated it was an even match. On several occasions, I beheld bright and colorful lights, superhuman abilities, multiplication of bodies, teleportation. It sound like the best Hokage, like Naruto and Nara, dude. Ashley's the best Hokage. Healing, transformation, and many other powers that seem to come out of a fairy tale. The combat seems to last forever. Every second, every attack and defense were loaded with so much tension and emotion that time had simply disappeared from me. The only thing that captured my attention was seeing the two girls fighting in such a fantastic way. Finally, after an unknown time, both fall. On the ground, bloody, they look into each other's eyes. The blue eyes beheld the red ones, and vice versa. Both then smile. Ashley proudly, Lillian with irony. It seemed that the two were anticipating that end.
You did very well. I didn't expect it,
Lillian said with honesty. You doubted of me? Stupid girl. Back it, girl. Ashley replied with arrogance, even though her lips were stained with blood. Lillian then shows us a smile full of malice.
You have always been like that. Even a mutual death you consider victory. You really are a baghead. You should be more selfish.
It's strange. She does not sound angry in the least.
You may be right, but all I wanted was to stop you,
replied Ashley, proud of herself. There was not a hint of regret in her words.
Okay, I accept my defeat. But at least in these last moments of my life, I want to be in peace with you. Is that okay?
Lillian responded with a friendly smile.
To be honest, I was going to say the same thing.
Aww. Ashley ended with an ironic smile. I silently watched them both as they talked, feeling a strange fascination mixed with an unmistakable feeling of sadness. I just met them this evening, but somehow it pains me to see them as that somehow I formed a bond with them. He's seen two people dying and he's like, I don't know why I'm upset. It was then that I see them slowly start to disappear. Suddenly, the two of them turned to set their eyes on me, giving me one last smile.
Goodbye, noble knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. It wasn't all of that.
Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart.
Thank you.
Ashley. I can't help but feel nostalgia at that moment. I knew this was going to be our last goodbye. Even if I didn't want to admit it, that was her fate. Is it alright for it to end like this?
Don't worry, everything will be fine now. Finally, my reason for existing has been fulfilled. I have no regrets.
And this is our goodbye.
Yes.
Suddenly she recovers her proud attitude. However, this time was different. She was happy. Really happy.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Back a human.
Ashley said it with the arrogance of boys, but now instead of anger, it made me feel like I was gonna cry.
It was fun to meet you,
said the two surprisingly in unison. Those were their last words. Aww. They then disappeared, dispersed in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping from their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Without thinking, I run towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are the particles of light, and slip out between my fingers as if they were water. Then I see the light rise, higher and higher, until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it wants to cry but has no tears? Why do I feel so terribly bad? Life is more than just victories or defeats. That night I learned it in the best way. Whew. I finally get out of the forest and it was almost morning. Axel! Axel! Suddenly hears someone calling my name, but it isn't a strange voice. It's the voice of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here! I shout without hesitation. Close this, yep. I couldn't find the forest exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that I interrupt him. Doesn't sound like something Alfred's gonna say. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is that we're all safe. Yes, you are right. I knew that they wouldn't believe my story if I told them, so I don't bother to do so. And so, as sudden as it happened, the night was left behind, being replaced by boring day almost... And so, as sudden as it happened, the night was left behind, being replaced by boring days, almost identical days. But at least I had achieved our goal. Okay. I had a night worthy of remembering. Wow. 2 weeks later. Several days have passed since then. Suddenly I see a cat walk by. Ashley? I asked without even thinking. She turns to look at me confused, but of course she would not. She would not be of who I spoke of. The cat seemed oddly friendly with humans. She observes me with shyness, but doesn't growl at me. Without much thought, I decided to adopt her. Maybe in hopes Ashley would come back someday, even if that was an impossible desire. Having this cute cat will make me remember Ashley forever. It might have been just a night, but it was an experience I would never forget. I hold the cat in my hands. She actually looks happy for having a new owner. Seeing her like that makes me smile. Without a doubt, you will be good company. Dude, we did it. That's all the endings of Trick or Treat. That was I was expecting maybe like 30-40 minutes at this final one, but this is an hour 20. So I might actually have to cut these then, because that's going to be 2 hours together. and that's a bit long for a YouTube video. Like, let's be real, no one's gonna. I mean, no one's gonna watch these anyway. Let's be real here, but no one's gonna watch a 2-hour read through of just some obscure visual novel. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, you'll see by the time I publish this what I decide to do for that. But yeah, you know, good times. I guess so. I mean, it was, God, it was what, 50 cents, 60 cents, like, you know. I mean, I'd say it was worth the cost. You know, 60 cents for a good 2 hours of reading. Like, hey, I'll take it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I got plenty more visual novels planned up. I got another like 6 or 7 downloaded that we can, you know, get through together. So this will be fun. I'm liking doing these shorter ones as opposed to trying to go through the entirety of Gersaya. You know, you know, they say 40 to 50 hours of reading, but that's going to be like 80 hours of talking. Maybe not 80, maybe like 60 to 70 hours of talking. So, yeah, that you know, that's probably never going to happen. I mean, who knows if I'll ever revive that. That's kind of, you know, up in the air again at this point after the computer got wiped. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a happy Halloween. Woo! Wow, so I went back and looking at the achievements. Turned out getting those endings unlocked another path, which sucked because the path was actually to follow one of the bad paths by running away from the cat, which I don't know, I forget how that. No, yeah, that ended up he just straight dying. Yeah. Lillian and Ashley are the same person. Lillian's Ashley's evil spirit that wants to kill the town for killing her parents. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's really it. Yeah, now she's, you know, one person again at school with, you know, your boy Axel, and it's like the morning of the 31st, so this is before Halloween would have happened, so like went back in time. Yeah. I guess that's technically the true ending, I suppose. Again, there's still one achievement I don't have, so like I don't even know what to think at this point. But yep, extra endings. There you go, all the endings. Lily Ashley's Trick or Treat, yep. Yep. So there's that, goodbye.